right, guys, welcome to the ultimate high school reunion for the cast of Laguna Beach. I am kicking it off here with the people who started all of this. Guys, thank you so much for getting this all together. Trey, I want to start with you because you started this video. You kicked this off, modeling your hats, showing it off, wanting to get people to vote. How did the conversation start to have this reunion happen?
I think it was like all good things. It was a natural evolution of conversations. It sort of started with a couple of us just wanting to do something and put some sort of skit or some kind of thing together, and Lauren, being the brainchild of a lot of our misdeeds, helped target and direct us into something that was really going to have some positive change rather than just a couple of goofballs doing a funny video. So thanks to Lauren, she introduced us to head count and really helped to move this thing along.
Love it. That's so awesome. And you guys asked for 500 people to either register to vote or check their registration status. I will tell you guys are almost at 20 times the goal, which is absolutely insane. You're almost at 10,000 people registering and checking their status. Of course, this is just the beginning. Now it's time to make a voting plan. I've made my voting plan. Have you guys all made your voting plan or already voted?
Because I wanted to wear my sticker, but it felt dishonest because I haven't completed it yet.
Yeah,
so.
I got good news to report from the voting lines. I know the media likes to put out a lot of footage of incredibly long lines and whatnot, the kind of worst case scenarios, but I didn't have to leave my personal space. I left my house and got in my car and I drove right up to a ballot box, an official one, like at basically the neighborhood library, and just dropped it off pretty quickly. So people that aren't doing mail-in and still need to go out and vote, I think, you're going to have a lot of options. Some places are more crowded than others, and some places get a lot of crowds at one time. And I think sometimes the media jumps on that, but it's important for people to know that, plenty of opportunities to vote. Even some states where you can still register to vote right up until election day. Just, all about checking your state and formulating that plan, like you said.
Absolutely. And the link that you guys had shared before, which we're going to share again now, is completely still works. You can go on there and do everything there. So it's super easy. It really only takes, I did it in like 2 minutes while I was getting my nails done. So it's like, why not? Just check it out. Nice. Well, it wouldn't be a party without some friends. So I think we should let in the rest of the group.
Let them in.
All right, we're going to let everybody in and see what happens. Let's see.
Trey. I'll join you.
What's up?
Maybe if we drink more, everyone will come in.
Hi.
Hello.
Morgan.
Hello.
Oh, God. No. We're to service guys.
I need my red cup. This is so fun. I gotta turn my volume on.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, awesome. I'm looking around. I'm looking at everyone. Man, everyone looks so good. Oh my god!
Wow. I like your hat choice, by the way.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Morgan, what? I said, "Where's Morgan?" But then I found you. It's like the Brady Bunch.
Oh yeah. Hey, how's it going?
When was the last time you guys were all in the same room? I guess we can say.
I feel like the last time we
school?
all might have been in the same room was when I think we were going to the VMAs one time, and MTV was like, "Here, we're gonna launch the show, and here's like 45 minutes of media training. Go have fun, and then the show's gonna air on MTV. So good luck." I remember from there it was like, "Oh, okay, all right, well." 45 minutes of media training before the show is released out to the world. It was definitely an interesting experience that way. So it's probably like one of the last times we were all together.
Well, I want to start off with having you guys kind of just obviously intro yourself. Everyone who's watching knows who you are, but I'm just going to still have you guys do it. And we're going to have everyone each give themselves a superlative. So it's super easy, and then just pick who you want to go next. So I'm going to go first just to give you guys an example. I'm Emily, and I would vote myself most likely to be in bed by 10 p.m., and then I'm going to throw it to Steven. You can kick off the rest of the group.
I'm Stephen Cletty, and I am, I did get Life of the Party in high school. That's actually something that I got. So I guess I'd be most likely to be Life of the Party in high school. Throwing to you, Trey, because you're next to me.
I guess if we're going in that vein, I used to dress pretty ridiculous in high school, and somehow, some way, I got voted best style or whatever. But I guess it made sense because I'm a fashion designer now, so it works out. Kristen, up to you.
Wait, are we going with what we were in high school or what we are now?
You can do now. Whatever you want.
It's fluid.
Okay. I'm like, I'm trying not to go back to high school. I'd say, hi, I'm Kristen.
And I'd say I'm most likely to be in my kitchen. I'm always just in my kitchen, whether I'm cooking or hosting people or what have you. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go Morgan.
Hi. Let's see. I'm Morgan, and I would say I am most likely to, it feels like me changing a diaper because I have so many kids.
Morgan, how many kids do you have now?
I have 3. So I don't think
Raise your hand if you have 3 kids. I know.
I haven't outdone anyone yet.
Steven.
Let's do Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I wish I had thought of a clever answer here. I feel like I'm right now most likely to forget what day it is.
That's such a good answer.
Where I'm at.
Yeah.
I only have 2 kids, so I don't have as much of an excuse. But Talon.
Okay. Well, I don't have a good answer. Hi, my name's Talon, and I guess I would be most likely to talk too much. I guess, like, I find myself in conversations with myself a lot. I don't know. I think about how people describe me, like, man, that guy talks a lot. But anyway, I'm going to throw it to Lo.
Hi guys, it's nice to see you all. I'm Lo. Hi. I guess at this point, I'm probably getting most likely to be working because I think I like never stop working at this point. I just work and I'm on calls and I'm on Zoom all day long. So it's just like, this is my next meeting. Okay. Oh, I picked somebody. I'll go with Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina, and I am most likely to be a stay-at-home mom. I have a 7-week-old. And my 3rd, and I was telling my husband Chad, I was like, it was so funny being on this email thread with all of these amazing women. It was like CEO and founder, and I was like, CEO of the Sinclair House. Oh yeah. So that's me.
What do we got left?
So it's Dieter.
Hey everyone. I can't see anybody, so I guess I'm most old that can't operate technology, but I can see Kristen and Christina and Lo, and you guys look amazing, and I'm assuming everyone else looks great too, so congratulations.
You look amazing too, Peter.
Thank you. I guess most likely to open a hotel in the middle of a pandemic, which is a great idea. Yeah. I don't know who's left. Polster.
Well, hi, I'm Lauren Polster. Probably most likely to get picked last for the Zoom thing. No, in all seriousness, definitely most likely to be watching Trey's vote.org dance video easily at any given time. Just kind of have it. Just looking at it, just daily inspiration. Yeah. And just want to say thank you all for putting this together, and Emily for hosting, and great idea.
Cool. Well, congratulations, everybody. We had big success. I think Emily will talk more about it, but.
Yeah, absolutely. I was telling the first group that came on that kind of kicked this off that you guys did 20 times your goal of 500 people signing up to register or checking your status. It's obviously incredible. Yes, raise your cups, your glasses.
We still got it, guys. We still got it.
By the way, it's 5 o'clock here.
There you go.
5 o'clock here.
It's 6 o'clock here. I'm like, wait, do I get it?
We're good. I don't know about these California people. They have no excuse.
So yeah, it's really, really exciting. And obviously this is just the beginning because now everyone can make a voting plan and go out and vote, or, already drop your ballot in the mail because it's already happening. So make sure to check when it starts in your state. I know for me, I already have a plan. So make sure you guys all do that. We want to lead into our next segment because this is the ultimate high school reunion with a little game of Never Have I Ever, but it's a fun game. It's not too crazy, I promise. So I want you guys to each take a sip and you're obviously willing to explain if you would like to. Starting out with if you still live in or you recently moved back to the OC.
You drink, right? If you move, or you drink.
I moved. Yeah, I moved
back to the out?
Yeah, I live in Charleston, South Carolina.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
I
I moved here a year ago. We would love it.
Yeah, I lived outside of Orange County for the last 15 years, but would be close by in LA. And then was kind of thinking about, it's funny, we left kind of eyes wide open wanting to get out of town. And then as I got older, sometime around like when I was approaching 30, it was like, I think I want to move back to Laguna. I want to get back to Orange County. I'm not quite in Laguna, but I am close to home. So.
And Christina and Lauren, you guys are both still, you guys are in Orange County?
Yeah.
Yep.
I went to college in LA, and then everyone's like, why do you still live where you grew up? And I'm like, well, I went away for 6 weeks and I found my husband. Does that count?
Yeah, I think Trey's the furthest one away from Orange County right now.
I know, Trey, tell everyone where you are.
Well, it's 11 p.m. over here in London, and so it's whiskey time. Yeah, but it's a treat to be here with all you guys, even though it's late at night. Let's party.
So cool.
Take a sip if you have gone skinny dipping in the ocean.
Oh.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Oh, all of you. I guess if you grow up in the ocean, it's a little different.
I don't think Lauren's hip there.
She did.
I was the first one.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Does anyone want to tell their story of skinny?
He got arrested.
I see where this is going.
So it was late at night, Steve and Trey.
Yeah, someone actually stole our clothes, and I got a ticket for nudity in public.
No way. Where was this?
That's what we were fishing for. Don't tell me you had to call your mom to pick you up.
I was with Bowler. We had to walk like, I don't know, 20 minutes back naked at like 2 a.m. in the side streets.
All right, take a sip if you have ever rewatched the series as an adult.
Like a show?
I've seen minutes of it. I've never watched the whole thing.
So none of you have. That surprises me. You guys
Yeah, I've watched the show. Yeah,
In its entirety.
and it's crazy because I remember like watching it when it first came out, and like every time you're like, that's not exactly how it was. Like this, like they changed this. She didn't really look like that, and then like all of a sudden, like 10 years later, you're watching it and you're like, oh, that bitch.
What were you thinking about?
Like, just sort of overwrites your memory, and like all of a sudden, that's the truth.
And not mine. My memory's intact.
Okay, good. Well, I guess we had different college experiences.
You know what, Trey? I've never rewatched an episode, but I did, like, I was trying to find old photos of us for this, and I found the, like, Laguna Beach High School, like, it was like a tape of all the senior activities, and it basically stars you, by the way. You're, like, in every scene, but it went through, like, all of our dances and pep rallies, and it was really funny to look back on.
All right, take a sip if you have returned to Catalina since Steven's bear prank.
I was just there, and I texted Steven.
Actually, yeah. I've been back.
I was literally there like 2 weeks
there.
ago for a photo shoot, for an Uncommon James photo shoot. And Steven and I were talking. I was like, this is the first time I've been back since we filmed.
I remember there's a part in that episode where I jump off this cliff, and there was a good like 30 minutes before actually getting up there that I was stuck trying to climb up, and I thought I was actually going to die. I thought I was going to fall off, and I was hanging on by just like one little root or plant like on the cliff there, and all I could think about was like, oh my God, I'm going to be in one of those videos where it's like somebody caught on film the moment this person died. This was going through me for about like 5 to 10 minutes. I was stuck in this one spot. Everyone's yelling at me like, "Oh, just like go! What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh my fuck, I'm gonna die!" And then it was like one last like reach for something and pull myself up. And I remember being so relieved that I was just like, "Oh, all right, I'm just gonna jump off this thing." But there was a moment there that it was pretty hairy.
Someone said that when I sent out my request for fan questions, which I got quite a lot of, someone said that some of that episode was not actually filmed in Catalina and made it look that way. Is that true?
Oh, look at you getting to the bottom of stuff.
Handle it. Probably, because we did a lot of pickup scenes where it was definitely out of order and we had to pretend like prom just happened. Wait, now pretend like prom is about to happen. You're like, but what? I'm so confused. And so we did do all of that.
And we were such brats at that age where we thought the whole show was going to bomb. So when they like made us relive experiences, it felt like inauthentic to us. So we would just like mess with it. We'd be like, oh no, the bear is coming.
That one was a little stretch because they put a tent up in Trey's backyard and we had to pretend like Catalina in the tent, putting Steven in a bear suit again, while Trey's mom's like doing dishes 5 feet away. It's like, what are we doing?
Well, I will say I think that was like the coolest part about our experience because their reality TV was not really a thing before Laguna Beach. So I don't know about you guys, but I thought it was going to be like a true life. Like that was the extent of reality TV then. So when they said it was going to be a full series, and then why not you have this conversation about prom 3 weeks later, we were like, okay, like that doesn't make sense. Or why don't you walk in the store again? We were all just kind of like, okay, like I don't really get it, but let's do it. I think like in retrospect, we all would have been very different had we been exposed to reality TV the way that we have now. But in a way, I feel like that's what's made Laguna Beach so iconic, is because we really went in with no expectation, having no idea what we were doing.
There was one time that they had me walking down the street, and they had a producer on the other side of the street, and they were like, just look at her. And she's like giving me these dirty faces. So I'm like, oh my God, look at her. And of course they made it seem like I was like looking at Lauren being like, oh my God. We had no idea what was going on. Now, like you said, Christina, it's like, we get it. You know, like we know how reality TV works. So it would be totally different now. But I think to your point, like that's what made it what it was.
They had it all pretty well mapped out when it was time to shoot. And, MTV, I think the best thing that they did was hire Go Go Lucky Productions, which was headed by Gary and Julie Auerbach. And they hired a good team. I mean, I know for me, like some of my fondest memories of doing the show is hanging out with the crew. They were fun. They were really easy to get along with. They respected us as well as they could, but also had their job to do. And so they're really good at kind of like walking that line with us of understanding, okay, what are they going to get and what's maybe too far? And, they still got it. But we would only shoot, like they would, talk to us kind of Monday through like Wednesday and Thursday, and they would shoot like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like every other week. So it wasn't anything crazy. And again, I think that they had everything pretty mapped out well. So it was like, all right, we're going to get these conversations between these people to lead up to this big event. And then here's the event. And then we'll do the aftermath with these people. And that's kind of the whole map of the show that they did.
Was there any storylines for you guys specifically that were like, you were so annoyed how they ended up showing up? Because I feel like you said, obviously conversations were taking place weeks later.
Oh my, I mean, like how much time do we have?
Seriously. Great.
I'm triggered.
I remember at least for Morgan and I, the one in the nail salon with Lauren and Lo, I get asked that one a lot. I mean, I wasn't on as many seasons as some of these other guys, but that's like the main one that people are like, was it really that awkward? And it totally was not. But I remember feeling like awkward because we didn't know they were coming. Like they didn't tell us. Morgan and I were there, and then they sent Lo and Lauren, and we didn't know that Lo and Lauren were coming. So if there was any awkwardness, it was just that we weren't expecting them.
I was going to say, Steven, do people ask you a lot about your Cabo scenes when people bring up Laguna?
People don't really ask about it. It's not really the main thing I get asked about. I'm trying to think what is the main thing. I think everyone's just like, was the show real, It's kind of where they always go. And it's like, did you actually, did you know those people? Did you go to high school with those people? That's usually what I get asked.
I have like a very clear memory of, I don't even know if this ever made it into the show, but us filming in Cabo, Steven getting so drunk that he tried to go jump in a fountain. Do you remember this?
No, but I heard.
And there's like a sound guy chasing you, trying to get the mic off you before you make it.
Mm-hmm. Did I jump into the fountain?
I think so. I don't know if we saved the mic.
Oh, man.
It definitely did not make it to air.
I usually get asked if I know Steven. That's pretty much the thing that I get asked the most about.
I'll get, people will, and I thank Kristen for this, people will just shout my name in the way that Kristen liked to pronounce it. From the main thing I get.
People are always asking me to say it too. I'm like, God, come on, man. I don't even know if I can say it.
The best is like people try to say it to me, and it's really, really funny because they look pretty ridiculous when they say it. It's nowhere close.
You guys should probably, Kristen, you should probably say it, and Steven, you should probably say it back so that we can have that on camera.
Steven.
You got it.
All right, so before we dive into more questions, we're going to do some trivia. Let's see how much you guys remember from the show. Probably not much since none of you have watched it recently, but let's see. Yeah. What hotel was the black and white affair held at?
Serpent Sand.
Nice.
There's like 5 hotels here.
Which two of the girls wore matching prints to prom?
Oh, that was me and Lo.
Oh, and me and Morgan. Sorry, I had to jog the memory there.
I really thought Polster was going to get that first.
Almost, man. Beat me by a second.
Where was Christina's 18th birthday party held?
Joe's Crab Shack.
Really?
Yeah, we took a Duffy to Joe's Crab Shack. Morgan planned it for me.
That was something that was scripted. Okay, I don't take credit for that.
It's gone now, sadly. So sad.
Seriously, can someone tell me how to see everyone? Jesus.
I'm so sorry, guys. Oh my God.
What is happening to Dieter? We just lost Dieter. What happened?
Here, hold on. Let me see if he's.
He dropped the phone, and then his picture moved down.
He went away.
He was mad. He can't see all of us at one time.
Oh, man.
Now the order of everybody has shifted. I'm gonna have to get used to this.
Yeah.
He's in there.
Dieter, you're back.
You're
Now you're
sideways.
sideways.
You gotta turn your
You're
you're sideways.
Oh my God.
There he is, Dieter, Issy, Nico, and Welly. All right.
I'm literally 34.
We're so old now. We don't know how to do technology.
I'm 34 going on like 90. I'm like, oh my God.
What celebrity did Lo and Lauren both agree on would be their dream prom date?
Oh, I just saw this the other day on like search. It was I got it. It was Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know.
What happened to that guy?
I was on like the search tab on Instagram, and it was like, fun fact: Lauren Conrad wanted to go to the prom with Chad Michael Murray, and like was you guys presenting an award or something?
Well, it's probably because we
no.
liked his show.
Yeah.
Steven went and got on it, and then
Ruined it for you. You can say it.
Oh no.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into some fan questions. I did get a lot of fan questions. First up, there is a fan named Megan who wants to know if any of you would return to reality TV.
I mean, I feel like I was on reality TV. I just ended my show a few months ago, so I did. So I guess that's a yes.
What about the rest of you?
I think we're good.
I feel like we did enough to last a few lifetimes. I always say that. People are like, would you do it again? I was like, I think we're good for the next few lifetimes.
One fan wants to know, Polster, how did the show impact your life?
I don't think very much. Someone wanted to know that?
Yeah.
Specifically called.
Not specifically.
I've actually thought about another thing. Like, I would be the most likely for someone to be like, "Wait, who's Polster again?"
I've had someone ask me, they're like, dude, how's that Lauren guy? I'm like, dude, he's freaking hilarious. I've literally had like 2 or 3. I swear.
Actually, I will say I thought about this before. The thing that I'm the most proud of by far is that someone spoofed me on Mad TV. There was that Laguna Beach. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Where they made fun of the show. And there was actually some guy who came in at the end as Polster. It was like the same actor, the same white guy who played all of us. And he threw a log down in the middle of the living room to start a campfire. Easily my most cherished claim to fame.
Ashley wants to know, if you could go back and relive an episode, which one would that be for Morgan?
I mean, graduation was really fun. I mean, it was all fun. Like, when I look back and people ask me about it, I'm like, it was just a fun experience. That's how I looked at it. It was just a fun phase of my life. You know, it wasn't my life, and it didn't like define my life, but it was just something fun we did, you know.
Does anyone else have an episode or a moment that they would want to relive from that time?
That's one of the few episodes I did rewatch again was Graduation, and it like made me feel something. I was really happy that was captured. It was such a joyous time because we were going off, you know, just bright futures ahead of us. I just wished I was a little bit more in the moment in that time, you know, just like taking it all in. And I think that's what's kind of nice about the show is like some of those moments you get to relive that you're glad were captured.
I think our senior year prom was really fun. Now that you asked me to remember, we had these like, didn't we have 2 limos? Didn't we have like a limo bus? And then we got in that stretch limo where you guys had those funny face masks on? Or am I remembering that wrong?
We had like all of us met and we did like our prom photos for filming. And then we went to a second location and we actually had a much larger group. So we had like multiple cars and stuff.
All right. So One fan wants to know, what did others in the school think about the show? Like your friends that didn't make it onto the show for one reason or the other.
Okay, I'll answer this. So, because Talon and I were juniors when it first happened, and I remember everybody wanted it. You had to be 16, everybody auditioned. And when they didn't get it, they were like, oh, screw MTV. Like, what a stupid show. And then a lot of those same people ended up on season 2. And I was like, oh, really? And also it was weird because everybody graduated and went to college. And then Talon and I were seniors in high school. And I remember the freshmen coming in looking at us differently. And I was like, this is really weird. You know, it was different. It was a bizarre time.
For sure. I mean, I think a lot of us were in situations where, like, of course, we're all friends, but we also had like other friend groups, right? Like, you know, like artsy, like, you know, skimboarder, surfer buds, whatever, you know, like we just had different groups. It almost was like a job. It's like, oh, I got to film on Friday from 2 to 4, but I'll hang out with you when I leave this party to go see your party.
Actually, another fan question we got was something that had happened, like a lot of the drama that was shown later on was shown like kind of had stemmed from something that had happened during the school day. Was there anything big that happened at school that you guys were surprised that like you couldn't really explain it or it didn't air on the show?
Christina, you and I got caught ditching one day. Remember?
I got in a lot of trouble in high school. Like, I got suspended. Like, I was a bad kid. And somehow I, like, pulled it off. I was like, yeah, I did it. Thank you, Morgan.
How did overall your parents feel about the show? Like, did they watch it and have questions for you guys? What was that like?
My parents were pretty much okay with it. I gave them a lot of heads up. Like, if I... you know, like we were saying, they would send us the episodes ahead of time. So if I did anything where I felt like they were going to be upset about it, I would just tell them. But they were like surprisingly okay with it all. I don't feel like they showed anything too wild.
There were a couple episodes I had to say, hey, mom and dad, not my best moment. but they were supportive and no, I mean, they were really cool about the whole thing. I think initially my mom was like, MTV, I don't know how I feel about it, but I wasn't living with my mom at the time, so I don't know that she had much of a say in it all. And my dad was supportive, so it was all good.
I remember thinking, like, especially probably the Cabo episode where I was like, oh shoot, I gotta go, you know, call my grandma here and like let her know, give her a heads up, maybe don't watch this episode. I saw her, we were talking about it. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm so sorry. And then I remember she just said to me, she's like, I think she kind of deserved it. And I was like, But it was one of those moments where some people in your family are like, oh my gosh, they're gonna like judge, they're gonna hate me, and then so you get like a completely different reaction from someone in your family, like, oh okay, well I guess that's not so bad. But definitely there were some moments where I had to give a heads up to the family, let them know I wasn't in my best shape.
Dieter, where is the strangest place that you've been recognized?
Wow. I think in Germany, well, my wife's from Austria, so the show was there, and then everyone thought like Izzy had met this guy named Dieter and was coming back to Germany, and they were just so freaking happy. And I don't speak a word of German. I just arrived and like, what's up? And her whole family was like, oh, wie geht's? Ich bin Dieter. I'm like, oh shit. So I think it was cool because my name is very, 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 very German, and there's not many Dieters in the U.S. So anytime you're over there, you fit in. But I am learning German at the moment. So.
What about the rest of you? Is there a weird place you've been recognized?
I remember I was in school in upstate New York, like in the middle of nowhere, and they would send us those VHSs, and I would like pick 3 people of like my new college friends that I would like dare to show them to, and the whole time like I was just showing them and I was like, that's not how it was, like maybe this is different. And then I would just think after it was over, like this thing is bombing. And for weeks and weeks, I was just like bombing. The show is bombing. And I took a train into New York City, and it was like in the subway, crazy. Like people everywhere recognizing me. And it was this great realization that like actually everybody in the world is seeing this. And it was like a little freaky, really freaky.
What was something that you guys wish that you guys are happy that you got to have on camera? I know you said graduation, but I feel like overall it must be nice that you actually have like home videos of all these great moments, a lot of these great moments with friends.
I think all of it was like, what an amazing privilege that we had. I mean, what 18-year-old's dream isn't it to be on a reality TV show? I know like Morgan and I I remember when they made the announcement, it's our senior year, so we went to school in sweats every day. And when they made the announcement, we were like, we gotta go home, we gotta change. So like in order, like just to have that experience was such a privilege, I feel like.
You mentioned, obviously, you wanted to go home and change. We would be remiss not to talk about the fashion because you all had some real good looks back then. Steven, at what point were you told to like pull your shorts up and not show your best side anymore?
Yeah, I would sag my shorts and my pants a little bit, but what was worse is I didn't wear underwear for a long time. I hit puberty in college and realized I should probably start wearing underwear because a lot of my pants would smell. But so I eventually had to hike up the shorts and figure out my hygiene, wear some underwear.
It was a thing in high school. I think someone must have dropped the hint, like, this is the cool thing to do. We all did it.
Okay, what about the girls? I feel like it's a little different.
I'd say the jean skirts and Uggs, right? The jean skirts and
the
Uggs.
very, very high shoes. Like not just rocket dogs,
yeah.
like breaking
Even
ankles.
higher.
Mm-hmm. That we would get at the Westminster Mall, right?
And I think of like Miss 60 jeans, you know, like the low.
What about the juicy sweatsuits? Juicy sweatsuits. It was all about that.
I just have a vivid memory of girls wearing like jean skirts and Ugg boots.
Yeah, I think Lauren and I were wearing jean skirts and Ugg boots before we were cast. We were ditching school and we were getting into one of our cars and it was parked right in front of the office and our car alarm accidentally went off and Adam DeVello, the producer, happened to be walking by at that exact time. And I think that's when we got cast on that show.
True. That was the secret.
I think the minute I got cast, I went in for like the final interview, and I was on my way up to like either Polster's place or Joe Laban or somebody, and I had a pair of socks and a toothbrush, and like that's all I needed to go to the next day. And like they just stuck on that question, like, so just a pair of socks and a toothbrush, like that's it? And I'm like, that's it. And for some reason, I think that's what stuck with them.
Do you guys, the rest of you, know like what it was that cast you on? Like Christina and Morgan, do you guys know like what it was that why they wanted you guys on the show?
Well, I will say, Stephen touched on this before, that we are actually, I guess you could call it god brother and sister, where his mom is actually my godmother.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So his older sister is one of my dearest friends. We were in each other's weddings. So, I mean, we went on family trips together, raised together, really. So I think that was something that they were drawn to. And then again, we were all friends, so we were all in the same circle.
Dieter, what about you? What was your audition process like?
I honestly, I don't really remember. I just remember, I think that's like the best part of, I think why the show worked was we were just all best friends since like first, second grade. So I think it kind of started with Steven, and then, you know, we were all, I mean, Steven and I lived a block away from second grade on. And then I think what I'm most appreciative about the show is like, the downfall was college didn't really exist in a normal way, but it also like you navigated to your trust system with your really close friends. And in a time where probably people grow apart, we all stayed really, really close. So these three guys are still my best friends.
I love that it's like actually high school friends. It seems like a lot of the shows now are very not that. So it's nice to see that some things were actually real friendships and everything else. Kristen, recently you and Steven posted a photo together and people are so obsessed with your guys' friendship, which I love. I think it's so cool. Does it surprise you guys in general that people are so invested in general in like all of your friendships with each other?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually the number one question that I get is who I still talk to. But yeah, I mean, I think that Steven and I kind of knew that it would create a bit of a frenzy. I didn't know how much of a frenzy it would create, but I think it's sweet. I mean, I think it's nice that people are still so invested and care so much, you know, so many years later. I think it's really cool.
Well, who is still very close? I know that it's been a long time, but like you guys said, the guys are obviously a few of you. I know Dieter's pretty upset that you guys aren't wearing your bracelets, but are many of you still close?
I will say like Lauren's always been a sister, close friend to me, and same thing through like all of life, and then after the show, post show. So yeah.
Morgan and I speak frequently, and then I see several of you on a fairly regular basis, but I mean, I feel bonded to all of you because we all went through this experience together. So just being and seeing all these faces, I feel like it's like no time has passed.
I'm still friends with Lauren. I see Steven, we run in some of the same circles, so I see him every once in a while. There's like this perception that Laguna is like this giant town, and it's actually, I mean, at least that's like what people have told me, and it's actually a much smaller town. And I just feel like you run into, people you grew up with all the time, and it's like you picked up where you left off. It's kind of cool. So
I'll also say, but I have a children's clothing line, and also too, it's just been so fun to connect with. I know Lauren's been like so supportive, and I like emailed her in the beginning when she bought something for her niece, and we did this like pop up at Palisades Village, and then Kristen's brand was also there, and then Lauren's little market was also there. So I felt this like closeness of like, I felt like, I don't know, it felt really good just to like, I felt close to them, and it's so nice to also be supporting each other through our like different projects and endeavors. And I do keep up with what everyone does and what everyone's accomplishing, and so that's also been really cool just to kind of support each other in kind of the next phase of life.
Morgan, your new collection's very cute. I have my shopping cart going now.
Oh, Kristen, by the way, your True Comfort cookbook arrived today, so thank you for that.
Oh, good.
I know, and I do it. Yeah, I have Kristen's cookbook, so it's just fun to like see everyone's projects. So,
guys, I want to thank you guys so much for doing this, because of course it is for such an important cause. And again, I need to reiterate that you guys went 20 times your goal of 500 people registering or checking their registration. I want to make sure everyone knows that that's just the beginning. Of course, now it's time to make a voting plan. Go out there and use your voice. It's very, very easy. You can click the link in this. Thank you guys so much for all doing this. The ultimate Laguna Beach High School reunion. It was so nice to see all of you.
It was so fun, you guys.
I'm kind of bummed that it's over. Stoked to talk to you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
We're really signing off now? Okay, bye.